as you probably know, on November the Microsoft will release the final version of .NET 5, a production version release, and before that the Microsoft is releasing small patches with improvements regarding Blazor, Anti-Framework Core, ASP.NET Razor, and other improvements regarding .NET. And in this video I'm going to show you how to work with scoped styles in Blazor components. As you already know and probably have worked with in Angular, React, and Vue.js frameworks, you can create separated files for the logic.js file and style files as well regarding the components. Now you can do the same for Blazor components. So if you already have experience with other single page application frameworks, you are going to do similar thing in Blazor right now. So the first thing you need to do is to create the Blazor project. I'm using the preview version of Visual Studio, which includes the release candidates and previous versions of .NET. I'm gonna choose the Blazor WebAssembly app .NET 5, and as you can see here, I'm using the .NET 5 Preview 8, which was launched a few days ago only. So at the first moment the project is the same as the previous version. I'm gonna run just to be sure everything is working fine. It's loading the application here. It's loading. Okay, it's the standard template which we used before in other videos. Not a big deal. So in Angular, React, and Vue.js applications, we can specify in a separate files the JS statements, the CSS file, or in Angular we have a separate file for TypeScript, and we can have one for CSS. So before this preview version of Blazor, to specify a specific style for a component, we can specify in the CSS global file regarding the project, or inline in the individual components, as you can see here. So it's not a good practice to do that, because for maintenance purpose it's better to keep separated in separated files the style and the component itself. But in the previous versions of Blazor we have only one global CSS file generated by the application, like app.css, or we could create like many extra files here and refer that in the index.html file. So now we can create a specific CSS file just for a component. So to do that, you can, let's create a new item here, CSS. The name of the file should be the same as the component. So we're going to create, for instance, index razor CSS. As you can see here, there is a new file under the index razor file. I'm gonna specify the same CSS here. I'm gonna remove that one, and here I'm gonna specify a paragraph tag just to have one more style statement in the CSS file. Okay, a new entry here, paragraph. I'm gonna make it bold. I'm gonna fix the indentation for each one. Okay, if you run the application, the behavior is gonna be the same, but now we can keep much more organized or components. In a complex project, a single project may have hundreds of components, and a single component can have hundreds of CSS lines. Now we can have a completely more organized. It's pretty cool, it's pretty simple, and in the next videos I'm gonna show you in a separated demo each individual improvements of Blazor introducing .NET 5. Of course, is still in progress, the development of .NET 5, but the final version is gonna be pretty similar you are seeing right now. If we inspect the files of the application, we still have in the app CSS file as it was before, but we have a new file here, scoped styles CSS, and all the CSS regarding to the scoped files are going to be placed here. Thank you for watching this video. In the description I'm gonna leave some links regarding to the official documentation and some articles I already wrote about Blazor. If you're not so familiar with, I recommend you to check the links below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.